Let's keep that round of applause going for Mr. Chaz Wilson. All right, how we doing, guys? We still awake on the camera? Still awake in the building? Very cool, very simple challenge for you. Ready? All right, just repeat after me. Not yet. All right, cool. We have people paying attention. I get to choose the impact I want to make. You get to choose the impact you want to make. Every single speaker up until this point has spoken about the impact that they choose to make, the people they surround themselves with, the decisions, the things that they don't want to do. I love that because you get to change what you don't want to do. That's powerful. That's awesome. And guess what? We're in the room. You guys are in the room. You get to hear all of this and you get to apply this. One of the cool things that I'm loving from every speaker right now is they're talking about knowledge is power. I believe there's a second step to that. The application of knowledge is power. Woo! When you apply the things that you learn, when you implement the things that you understand, even if it's scary, stepping out of your comfort zone, that's where progress is made. How many of us have been stuck in that pupil stage? How many of us are in that producer stage? How many of us have a hard time transitioning to be where we need to be instead of where we think we should be? All of that encompasses all of what we're talking about, which is insanely awesome. So in honor of celebration, let's celebrate yourselves for being here right now. Make some noise for you guys. That's right. That's right. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Again, I have to do this, so forgive me. I will get better, I promise. The next person that's coming up on this stage, for not only the people in the room, but for the people on camera, this woman literally changes the dynamic of the room when she walks in. How she brings and what she brings to the table is insane. How many people know that you have to go through things to get to things, right? I'm not going to give her away her story. She's been through some things, but she's also gets to help because of those things. And just a quick heads up, she is the author of Glory, Going All In, Cult Survivor to Courageous Warrior. She is a trauma-informed coach, mentor, and event facilitator, and is creating a nonprofit to let glory shine, to share support, resources, community for trauma survivors. That is a passion of hers. So if we can, ladies and gentlemen, please keep the energy going for Martha. Go get it, girl.
Wow. Every time I get to step on this stage with these people, I'm like a little shaky and a little bit like I feel like I don't deserve to be here, but damn it, I do. I do. You know, I'm honored and grateful for the UnLeashU team for putting this together, for Michael Faber, for everybody that has participated to create this stage for each of us. I'm eternally grateful, and I have so much respect. Only been in the community for about the last 9 months or so, but damn, y'all have made such an impact on my life, and I'm so grateful to be here. So if you know me, I'm kind of a little bit of sunshine and rainbows, but a little bit of sour Skittles too, right? So I can be all of that, but I also have a serious side of me because I've been through some serious stuff. And I just want to take a moment and think about, you know, we're in a crazy time in this world. There's a lot of pain in this world. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of divide. There's a lot of yuck. There's a lot of yuck, right? And so I want to just remind you of what happened yesterday, right? Yesterday was a big day. Some of us woke up this morning and celebrated that our presidential candidate won the election, right? While others woke up and said, oh shit, I'm scared. I'm scared what's happening to our world, right? There's both sides. There's both sides. At the end of the day, I can't control who won the election. I can vote, I can show up, I can do my part, but I cannot control who wins the election, right? The same thing goes for, I can't control anything except for me. I cannot control what you think about me. I can't control what you've heard about me, right? All I can control is me and how I show up, how I choose to show up. It is a choice. It is a choice how we get to show up, how we get to show up. Thank you for that, Matthew. Like, that's going to become part of my MO. I love it. Thank you. How I get to show up, because it is a privilege to have breath in our lungs. It is a privilege, y'all, to get to wake up, to get to live this life, to get to show up, right? It's a privilege. So I want you to all close your eyes. The last time I did a close your eyes thing on stage, I had a bunch of people say, oh, crap, and said I forgot. And yeah, okay. So I'm just going to talk you through this. We're going to take a deep breath. So everybody close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And we're going to let go of anything stressful, yucky. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you to take just a moment to envision your highest and best self. Whatever that means for you, envision that highest and best self. Now, think of 3 words that come to mind when you think of your highest and best self. What are those 3 words? Okay. Keep those in your head. Keep those in your head. Still with your eyes closed. Now pretend I just handed each of you a mirror and you are all looking into a mirror and you are looking at your current self, your now self. Look at that mirror and now think of 3 words that represent your now self. This person right now looking at you in the mirror, those three words, right? Now you should have 6 words. So you can open your eyes, remember those 6 words, write them down if you need to, if you're going to forget them, because you're going to come back to them at the end, right? So remember those 6 words. I'm going to tell you a quick story. And when I mean a quick story, I mean I have 20 minutes left, so I better talk fast. So if you have heard me speak, or if you've read my book, Glory, Going All In, Cult Survivor to Courageous Warrior, shameless plug, I grew up and was born and raised in a religious cult. And my experience in the cult was extremely traumatic. I was beaten more times than I can remember, with everything from cattle prods to electrical wires to 2x4s. I was starved. My head was shaved so many times that I can't remember. I was basically a caged animal for the first 25 years of my life. But that cage was the only thing I knew. It was safe, right? I didn't have to think for myself. I didn't have to ask myself questions. Everything that I did was controlled. What time I got up, when I went to take a shower, what I ate, how I prayed, who I prayed to, it was all taken care of for me. I never had to think for myself, ever, right? But that breeds this robotic behavior of not knowing, not caring, not doing, just literally existing. I wasn't living. I was stucker in hell, right? So I finally get the courage, after finding out that my sister was pregnant. I found her on the internet, y'all. We found out what the internet was in the cult, and I found her on it. And I found out she was pregnant, and that gave me the courage to escape. That gave me the courage that I needed, because I couldn't live for myself. I didn't know how to. I wasn't equipped, right? Gave me the courage to escape finally. I had tried to escape before and failed miserably. And that was another 6 years of living hell after the first escape. So now I'm out and I'm like, hot dog, it's time to live, y'all. It's time to find myself. It's time to let's go all in. Let's, start a new life. But I'm not going to think about any of the trauma. I'm not going to think about my past. I'm not going to go back and feel that yuck. I'm not going to take that pain with me. Nope. I am on a new path. Let's go on a new path, right? And here I go, new path. and I rush into a new life. I work my ass off. I climb the corporate ladder really quickly, and I am thriving. I'm married. I'm raising children. I'm doing all the things that a early 30-something should be doing, right? From the outside, I am killing it. But on the inside, I am a broken, messed up, alone, falling apart by the minute. That's who I am. I am stuck. I'm in constant pain. Now my physical body is breaking down. On top of my physical body breaking down, my marriage is breaking down. My home life is a mess because I'm stuck in this trauma-induced antics. And I take them everywhere I go. And everywhere I go, I create chaos. Everywhere I go, I take my pain and drag it behind me. Everywhere. It's lurking in the shadows behind me because I haven't dealt with it. All I've done is run. For 30-some years now, all I've done is run. But one day I woke up and my husband looked at me and he was like, the nightmares, when will the nightmares stop? When will the nightmares stop? We've been doing nightmares now for over 5 years. Every single night, y'all, I had a nightmare. Woke up screaming, woke up sweating, woke up fighting, urinating places other than the toilet. You can imagine a 30-something-year-old mother and wife. And our home life is out of control because I'm traumatized in every facet of my being. So my husband says, when will the nightmare stop? When? And I realize I need help. So I start going to all the different doctors. I start seeing a neurologist. I start seeing a counselor. I start seeing a gastroenterologist. And all they do is give me another diagnosis. You have PTSD. You have complex PTSD. You have fibromyalgia. You have had migraines. You have gastroenterology. Diagnosis, right? And so I'm getting no help because there's not a pill to fix trauma. There is not a pill to fix what I had going on. I had to go inward. And now we fast forward a couple of years, and now I've been on a healing journey. I have found some naturopathic modalities that are helpful. I started doing EMDR. I started doing neuro and biofeedback. I started doing hypnosis, cranial sacral therapy. I started finding other modalities that forced me to go inward, that forced me to sit with that broken little girl that all she wanted to do is be seen. All she wanted to know is that she was safe now. Right? So fast forward, now I'm on the journey for 4 or 5 years, and I'm sitting in my life coach's office. Had much respect for this life coach, and he says, I think you're ready. I think you're ready to do some mirror work. And if anybody knows what mirror work is, so I'm just being real. So mirror work is Louise, how I was taught it was Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And the mirror work that he was challenging me for was a 5-minute challenge for 40 days consecutively that I would have to sit in front of the mirror and affirm myself. Y'all know? Do y'all know how long 40 days is? It's a really long time. Just gonna put it out there. But I'm up for a challenge, right? Anybody that knows me, tell me I can't because I'm gonna every time, right? So I was up for the challenge. So the first day I show up, I get in front of my mirror and I just stare. I stare into my own eyes, but I have nothing. Tears start coming down my face. I have nothing positive to affirm. that person looking back. I see a person. I don't identify with her. I have no connection to her. I don't know her. I can see her, but there's nothing that says anything positive. That's how I spent the next 5 minutes for the next 2 days, is just looking and crying. I could see all of the things that others had told me that I was. I could see those labels, those identities. I could see fat. I could see ugly. I could see lazy. I could see never will amount to anything. I could see dyslexic. I could see dumb. I could see all the things that others had told me, but I couldn't see me. On the 4th day, something happened. I went and looked at that mirror. I set my timer and I looked at her and said, oh, hell no, not today. No. Those aren't mine. I never said those things about me. I started with lazy. I said, anybody that knows Martha Glory knows I am not lazy. That is not, nope. Take that label off. Done. Fat? Martha, nope. 4 years ago, I was fat. Today, nope. Taking that label off, right? And I just went and said, nope, take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Those aren't mine. They never were mine. I'm not claiming them. I'm letting them go. I still couldn't say anything specifically affirming, but I was learning what I wasn't. And that was affirming in itself, right? So then on the 5th day, I met with G-O-D. Oh. Y'all, when I say I had a meeting with God, and all I can remember is setting that timer. And before I even had the timer all the way, I had that little kitchen one that you turn the little thing, goes, right? I set my timer, and I remember God saying to me, who do I say you are, Martha Glory? Who do I say you are? And I was like, God, I never asked myself that. This is uncomfortable. I think you think I'm cool because I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So that is good, right? And so God says, who do I say you are? What do I say when I look at you? I made you. And I had to sit there and look at that. And I was like, okay, God, I hear what you're saying, but I don't believe it. And God said, you will. And once again, I just let the tears flow. Just let the tears flow. On the 7th day, I will never forget this, as long as I live. I looked in the mirror, I turned on my timer, and I was 37 years old the day that this happened. And I turned that timer, I looked at myself, and I said, I whispered, and then I said a little bit louder, Martha Glory, you're the strongest. And then a little bit louder and a little bit stronger, I said, Martha Glory, you are a survivor. And then I backed up from my mirror because I could feel the energy of Martha looking at me and celebrating me and saying, finally. And I backed up from my mirror and I said, Martha Glory, I love you. I am proud of you. Look at you. Do you see the woman I see? And that was the first time that I ever saw me. I ever saw me. 37 years old, y'all. The first time I saw me. And I had to go through all of this dismantling of everything that everybody else had told me that I was in order to get to the core of who God said I was and who now I could stand firmly in, because that's the only one that matters, me and God. The rest of it's just opinions, right? So I share this because I don't know where you are on your healing journey. I don't know your stories. I don't know what you've been through, but I know, just like several of you have shared, I know the things that we go through can either break us or they can make us. And I am here because of the things that I've been through. And every time that I get the honor of sharing my story, somebody says, I needed to hear that. Somebody says, thank you. I wasn't in a cult, but I resonate with every word because I had the same struggle of identifying who I was in the eyes of God, right? All right, so now I want you to go back to those 6 words that you were memorizing or that you wrote down. And I want you to think about those 6 words. If those 6 words are not the same words from your highest self to your now self, why not? Why not? If you don't love yourself here in this place, in this moment right now, you're not going to love yourself over here when you got it, when you got the money, the 2.5 kids, the dog, the fence, the house, all of that. You have to build that muscle here in the yuck, in the broken, in the way up, right? So why not? If your words don't match, why not? So how do we bridge the gap of these 2 identities? The now identity versus the highest, best self identity, right? This is where I find the passion. This is where I find the gusto, because this is the stuff that matters. So number 1, there's 3 ways. And number 1 is identify with the core values of your highest self that you want to create, emulate, and be, and do it now, right? If one of the words that is a core value of yours is courageous, how can I be courageous today? A little piece, just what takes a little bit of courage, stepping into the uncomfortable, right? We start flexing that muscle. We start becoming that one little step at a time. Number 2, self-awareness. If you aren't your biggest cheerleader, if you aren't screaming in the stands and being your biggest, who else will? Have self-awareness and understand you are on a journey. Be patient with yourself. Be kind with yourself. And know this is just a journey, right? But you have to be your biggest cheerleader, because your biggest cheerleader in the flesh now may be gone tomorrow, and then what? So today, do it today. And can anybody think of the 3rd one? No. What's that? Take action. How do I take action in claiming my highest and best self? For me, it was, well, I had to figure out who this was first before I could even talk about highest and best. I just wanted like regular, mediocre, something. I just needed that. I just need to figure out who I was to begin with before I could start the ladder. But now the woman standing in front of you has been taking this healing journey for the last 12 years. I've been out of the cult in December, 20 years, and I've been on this healing journey for 12. This is a, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And this has been just that. It's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I wouldn't have it any other way. People ask me all the time, like, don't you just wish that didn't happen? And no, because clearly my soul signed up for this. And I came into this human experience to have a spiritual experience. And I'm here to live it. I'm here to do it. I'm here to be it. And I'm proud of the woman that I've become despite of the things that I've been through. And now I get to give it away. Now I get to be that person that others look at and say, I just want a little bit of your sparkle. I just want a little bit of your light. I just want a little bit of your flame. And that's what we're here for. We are here to learn how to ignite others. Y'all, I'm not special, but I've done the work and I continue to do the work. But I can't show up for you or you or you or you until I show up for me. And that's what I've done over this last 12 years is started showing up for me first. And now I'm able to start showing up for others. So there'll be a QR code in the chat. And by the way, hi, Zoom. I'm so excited to be here. It's a little intimidating looking here and looking here. It's like a lot, but hi, everybody. And thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. And I see some familiar faces all over the screen. So fun. But yeah, so there'll be a QR code for you to scan. It is a chapter of my book. It's the last chapter of my book. And it is the principles that I used and continue to use on my healing journey. So that is my free gift back to you for the support, for the love. And that's from my heart. So please scan that QR code and get that free chapter. And then lastly, my license plate on my car says, I love all. And yes, I do love all, but it's because God loved me first. And I learned about love because I realized how God loved me. And I cannot love anyone else until I love me. Because if I don't love me, then I don't love God, period. It's that simple, y'all. We complicate the crap out of it, but it really is that simple. So I love all means I love you. Thank you.